Hi, welcome to Mom and D Hawaii. It is 11:45 and it is Monday, March 23rd. And right now I'm gonna stress craft with you, just so that I can get some stress relief and also so that we can talk about coronavirus because that's what everyone's talking about. That's what's going on. Here in Hawaii, Governor Ige just passed the proclamation that we're gonna work at home, stay at home. As you guys know, I am an essential worker, so I'm exempt from that rule. There are people who are exempt like me to help the city and county of Honolulu, and then the state still run smoothly. So just wanted to send prayers out to everybody who is staying home. Thank you for doing that. Makes a big difference especially for me in the healthcare field, and then also to all the people who are still working, and then of course exposing themselves to coronavirus potentially in this kind of scary time. Anyways, if people have questions, let me know. I will go through some questions that people ask me through Facebook and then through Instagram, and just friends and family have been asking as we go along. So this is more just some stress relief crafting. Today I'm making a yoga mat. This is for Mama Jung. She is our administrative assistant for the residency program, and we would all be lost probably without her, both the residents and all the physicians. I just wanted to say thank you to her for all she always does. She takes care of us. She feeds me a lot, and we always joke because I eat quite a lot. But anyways, this is a yoga mat strap. I got it at Target for $3. But I'm gonna make it personalized for her. I might add some other stuff on it, but for right now I'm just gonna add her name. To make a name, you just go into design space. I have this really cute font. It's called October Twilight that I like to use. In order to make it one continuous scripted word, you do have to weld the word together after you get it just the way you want it. Usually I just decrease the line spacing in between. I'm also going to use my Easy Press because I'm going to iron onto it. So this is my little mini baby Easy Press. I do have a bigger one, but I love this because it's so cute. It's easy to use. So I'm just going to turn this on to the highest setting so that it can warm up. I don't know if you guys are watching my last video. It was a first time I was having a little trouble not using smart vinyl, so just using the mat. I had a little trouble feeding the mat in, so we'll see if I have troubles again today. I'm going to turn the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So here's my little Cricut Easy Press. This is the project I'm going to do, and then as we're going around, we can talk Corona as well. If people have questions, let me know. But I am going to be answering questions that I've had, again, like I said, from other people throughout the day. Okay, so let's start. First thing I'm going to do is, for my project, I have the name already, but I'm going to just put this on our little standard grip mat that is made perfectly for the Cricut Joy. I think I'm going to go this way. And remember, for iron-on, so this is everyday iron-on, just little scraps that I have kept. Now that I have my Joy, I'm really excited that I kept all of them because that means I can still use them. Let's see. It is a little bit long. I might actually go this way. just so it just fits perfectly on this corner. Oh, and that little beep from my Cricut Easy Press means it's ready. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my design all ready. Strong. And actually, I might add a few more accents. I don't know. Is again our mother pretty much at work. She takes care of all of us, and I don't know what I would do without her. I'm gonna add a couple of accents. So some crosses for her. Let's see, this one I like. And there's this one I like too. Two different ones, but we'll see what they look like. So questions. We'll start with some of the first ones. So one of the questions I get is, how am I doing, and if I'm scared about what's gonna come. So to both of those questions, yes, I am definitely scared. I'm worried about what's gonna happen, not just to me, but to all the people I work with. I think just really nervous about what's going to happen to everybody. It's just really scary to think that people are dying in such large numbers. And what's going to happen, you know. As far as is Hawaii, are we going to experience the same things they've been experiencing in New York or Seattle? The death toll keeps rising. They don't have enough tests. They don't have enough personal protective equipment. I don't want to see anyone I know having to experience some of the things I've seen going on. It's really, definitely very concerning. I will tell people that legally, ethically, and morally, I feel comfortable saying that I would not treat patients if the hospital were to completely run out of personal protective equipment. I have little kids. I would feel not right about bringing disease home to my family. And as much as my obligation is to my job, if I didn't have the proper equipment, I feel like it would make me very nervous to do that to my family, to my husband, and my kids. Again, I know that most kids fare pretty well, but they are talking about potentially that maybe this virus is mutating, or that a lot of people who were previously healthy have had to be admitted, intubated with this. So it just makes me really nervous. I will, of course, always do what I can to decrease my risk. Not to mention, if I do get sick, that it could put other patients at risk of getting sick. I would feel awful if I accidentally infected someone else. If I compromise them in their health and with their family. So it goes both ways. I just do not feel comfortable. And I think most providers would feel that way. That just, as a provider, the first thing you want to do is not harm anybody else, not harm other patients, not harm your family. I don't think people would be very happy if, by not wearing PPE properly, that I got someone else sick. So it's kind of how I feel about it, despite all that. But I feel like if I was a risk, definitely don't feel like I should get other people sick. And we don't know if I would be getting other people sick, because there's a long asymptomatic period. There's even people who have never been symptomatic but still contagious. And again, I would hate that for that to be me. So now I've set it to Everyday Iron-On. I've added my little accents, and the first thing I'm going to do is make sure it says, make sure your fine point blade is in the club, which it is. I'm going to load my mat into the machine. Straightening out my material. And then it says I have enough material. And it's going to start. And let's see how this turns out. I have made mistakes, so we'll go from there. Oh, shiny side down. Is it still thinking? Oh, and now it says click go. Okay. Other questions? So there's been questions about, what do I think about the homemade masks? The CDC has come out and said, in the absence of anything else, that homemade masks are acceptable alternatives. That actually really scares me. I hope we don't run out of masks to the point where we need to use homemade masks. I know some people in some places have been using them to extend the life of their N95s. That is outside of manufacturer recommendations. Again, I hope I never have to do that to extend the life of my N95. It is dangerous. Again, we just talked about spreading infection. Definitely, if you don't have anything else, that is what people are using. I know that you can put in special filters. They have little pockets for some of them, so you can put actual HEPA filters into some of those masks. They work potentially better. Cloth masks alone still let 97% of your potential infectious things still through the mask. So again, it's not ideal. If it is all you have, then definitely something is better than nothing. I am hopeful that my hospital will continue to have proper personal protective equipment, not just for my safety, but for my coworker safety and for my patient safety. I do appreciate people mobilizing though and trying to make these masks for people. I know it is a worst case scenario, but I am a big believer in better prepared than sorry. Oh, and this is done. Then you have to click unload. So unload my mat. And so you can see it here. I am going to take it off the mat. Some people really like to weed on top of the mat. I like to weed off of it. So if you guys don't know or haven't been watching, I did get the Joy with the HSN bundle. So the bundle, I wouldn't have bought this otherwise, but the bundle did come with the tools. Came with all of the tools here, as you see here. So these are all my tools. I, again, am pretty frugal. I keep all my little somewhat larger pieces of leftover iron-on. My goal is one day to cut them out using a punch and making like a big design. See if that ever happens. But now with my Cricut Joy, I can use these little pieces a little bit more until there's just not enough left to even be useful. So this is the weeding tool. This is definitely the one thing I would say I'm really happy I have. You don't need to buy Cricut brand. If you want to, this is actually just like a dental pick. So when I first started crafting, I did buy a dental set that was $5 and had one of these in there. Had some other picks and whatnot that were perfect for weeding actually. So it is cute, of course, that's what you're paying for, that it all matches. See, so this matches my machine along with my scraper and my spatula thing. And so as you can see, this is Cricut brand as well. I usually buy Cricut brand products if I can because it's made for the machines. I buy only during sales though. So big sales are usually Christmas, and they have a Christmas in July sale that's really good too. Or I buy through Cricut mystery boxes. A lot of times I'll buy in bulk, so I probably have more than I will ever need as far as this kind of stuff. Materials. I probably will never get through all the materials I have. I also recycle my white containers, and this is where I throw all my rubbish. So again, this is a really simple design. Just weeding out the middle of the letters. Just a name and a couple of accents with crosses. Weeding is very relaxing. And again, it's good stress relief for me. I'm very grateful that the state of Hawaii is doing more now. A little disappointed that the travel ban for people coming into the state doesn't go into effect until, or I guess quarantine, sorry, it doesn't go into effect till Thursday. That means there's potentially a lot of people who are already here or still potentially coming in at this time, spreading the virus. It is everywhere. I know it's in Hawaii. We've got community transmission. It's highly infectious. So everybody, please stay safe. I think the quarantine will definitely help discourage people. Not exactly sure how they're gonna enforce it, which is something they admitted themselves. I watched the news conference. I know that there's a lot of competing interests at heart. Our state, unfortunately, is reliant on tourism for its economy, so it's kind of a competing interest, And they keep talking about how, bless me, how definitely older people are at increased risk, but we are now seeing younger people who are being victims to this as well. So it is concerning for anybody to get it. More deadly if you're older or have other medical issues. But that doesn't mean only old people are dying, which is scary. I am scared of just seeing the news every day and just what it looks like for us just a couple weeks from now, depending on how bad the spread is. How crazy it's going to get, nobody knows. If we do a good job as far as preventing this, we should hopefully see nothing, just some cases, hopefully not a lot of deaths. But the cases we do see, we should be able to handle them within our healthcare system without any problem. Again, there was a news conference I saw, and there was a physician, and she said, I am buckling down, I'm staying home. And she said, if we did the right thing, what we should see would be kind of anticlimactic. Like, we should see nothing. We should not be going the way of Italy, of New York, That's what we're aiming for. That's the goal, to contain the spread. So that is what we're all hoping for, and praying for. I know I am. I'm really praying that it all works out, I'm just taking a look at my design to see which parts I'm supposed to remove. So the center of the cross here should come out. And so how is everyone else doing during this time? I know it's hard for a lot of people. My grandpa was in the ICU, so that was really scary. Just for him being in the ICU. My grandparents are from Kauai and they are 91. And grandpa was in the ICU. He was getting better. He is getting better. But now all of this, right? So after having recovered from a pretty serious illness, of course, now the concern is, will he catch coronavirus, and will that instead, cause problems for him? And so it's pretty scary for, I think, anybody who's older now, immunocompromised. Other questions I've had about coronavirus is, how do you best protect yourself? Definitely stay at home. That's the whole purpose of all of this, is the quarantine. And again, thank God, kids who have been getting it have been faring just fine. Their immune systems are so robust that they do seem to just bounce back from this. I have read stories of 20 and 30-year-olds needing hospitalization. Um, there have been a couple of cases of babies getting this. We don't know where, if it was from the mom or, but they seem to be doing well, which is great. That would be awful if it was causing problems in babies. As a OB provider as well, so I am, again, if people don't know, I'm family medicine, so I do everything, a little bit of everything. I also deliver babies, and that would be awful if we had to actually worry about babies dying at this point, which they are not. Thank goodness. Although they have instituted some pretty strict rules. I have heard of, I know at our hospital we are allowing just one person with the mom while she's in labor. I do know that other places have instituted no visitors, not even fathers of the baby, just because of the concerns about spreading the virus and bringing it into the hospital. I don't know if Hawaii's hospitals are headed that way, but that's my easy press again. It's beeping to let me know if I don't turn it off. Don't press it and let it know that I'm still using it. It'll turn off. So it's a nice safety feature that it has here. So it will beep at you when you haven't used it for a while, just to let you know, hey, I'm still on. And if you don't do anything, they turn it off. It turns off automatically, which is really nice. And all the Cricut Easy Press machines do that. My bigger one does that. I actually, because of this special safety base and just the way that these Easy Press machines are designed, I feel really safe with it. Even if my kids are in here running around, I definitely feel safe with them being around my machine. So I chose a very intricate design. So I'm taking the tiny little crosses out. Let's see. What other things? So coronavirus, they are studying it as quickly as they can, learning as much as they can about it. Why is it different from the flu? It does cause a pretty severe respiratory illness. It causes pneumonia in a lot of people. And that is the thing. It's a lot of people are needing respiratory help. So needing to be on a ventilator, needing to be in the ICU. It happens with the flu, but it's not as common. I've heard a lot of people spout out that more people die from the flu each year. Yes, that is true, but a lot more people have gotten it. It's just with this highly contagious virus, it's spreading so rapidly, and people are having to be hospitalized all the time that it's basically just overloading our healthcare system, and that's really the problem. Without proper masks and gloves and protective gear, the healthcare workers are getting sick themselves. It looks pretty scary elsewhere. So that question about if I'm scared, yes, I'm nervous. I think the worst of it has not hit yet everywhere. The US has the highest rate of growth in the world at this time. So that is also scary. So there's going to be a lot of shortages, And part of it is maybe our own fault. We've started hoarding gloves and masks, and so people in the healthcare industry, we don't have enough for us, because individuals started doing that early on. And I understand why. I mean, people are afraid. And it's also the hoarding of the toilet paper, It's fear. It's being prepared makes people less fearful, I think. So if they feel prepared, then they're not as afraid. Oh gosh. This was definitely a much more intricate design than I probably should have done, but I like it. Let's see if this cross is not up. Just such a small, intricate little design. So you can see here. So this is the design. I have 2 crosses. They're both pretty intricate. Gotta make sure all my little bits don't still stick here. So now I'm gonna just cut out this and this. So one thing I've seen, and it's probably because I am a crafter, so lots of people crafting, you know, staying home and making stuff. And I think that also is a mechanism that I am using myself at this very moment during this stressful time, just to craft, and produce things and feel productive. Even though really it's just kind of a waiting game for me right now. So again, oh no, I made a big mistake. I did not mirror my image. So this is backwards. Well, luckily my other designs don't need to be right side, but I'm going to have to recut the name. Let's see if I can find another piece of iron-on that I can use. So yeah, that was very silly of me. I might, let's see, I might just have to make it smaller. Oh, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Let me just, oh my goodness, oh my Lanta, I completely made it backward. Don't forget to mirror, people. If you don't mirror your image, then you totally screw it up, which is what I just did. So this time, let's make sure that I mirror on the mat. I'm such a silly rabbit. I will tell you that much. I believe I did that. I don't know how much material I've probably. probably lost because of it. Oh my Lanta. Let's see if I... Make sure I mirror. Mirror, Chelsea, mirror. Make sure to mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Okay, let's see if this will cut out. Connecting to my Bluetooth. We're gonna do everyday iron-on again. Done. Let's see. Just pulling it in. Just realigning it. And then I'm gonna click go. It is mirrored. So your question might be, what do I do with these? Well, you can't do very much. You could, again, you could put it on something that's meant to be backwards. I don't know. What a silly rabbit, though. And we're going to unload. Complete. Yay. Oh, she came out pretty nice. Okay. That. And my little cover for this. Put it back on. You should always put your cover back on to protect it. Now I gotta read this apart. Luckily, I had just enough scrap pieces left. Okay. So, I think what's really cool though is I think the way the community has come together and really had a voice, I think, in all of this. How all of our different communities have said, hey, we see how important all of this is, how important social distancing is in this pandemic, to prevent the spread and to help save healthcare resources, to help save people. Again, people like my parents and my grandparents are at significantly increased risk. But I think too, it's also realizing that what a big deal this is, And I think we've already seen other countries that have gone through this, some of them well and some of them not so well, and trying to find out what worked, what didn't work, and we've, again, seen countries where they didn't do social distancing and then the consequences of that, Spain would be a good example how they just kind of exploded in cases, and I'd hate for that to be us, you know. But I think the country as a whole has definitely seen why this is so important and is supporting people. I think a large part is because we all know and love someone who is in that category. You know, we all know and love someone who's older, someone who has a chronic medical disease, um, you know, and not everyone who's going to get it is going to not fare well. Some people are going to do fine. Most people should do fine, you know, based on the data. And there we go. So this time I remembered to mirror. So don't forget to mirror, folks. Okay, so here is my exercise strap. I'm going to put her name on there. And got the crosses on each side. And I made it so it just fits. They're like a perfect fit as far as the height for each of them. I might cut this down so it fits a little bit better. So you want to make sure that there's no plastic carrier sheet in between your design and what you're trying to iron on. I do have, again, my easy press mat here. Questions also I've gotten is, you know, what do you say to people who don't believe in all of this? I've seen postings from some people who are angry, some tourists who are not concerned about all of these things at this time. Yes, it is a little concerning that some people just are still not taking this seriously. I think that, again, we don't want to become Italy or Spain before we say, hey, those people were right, you know? So here I have my little easy press, heat press. It's on the highest setting for this iron-on. Yeah, I'm gonna move it across here, back and forth. And it is upsetting. Okay, so one thing you want to make sure is to check on this pretty frequently. And I did melt it. Oh, just a tiny bit. Okay, so that means I should probably turn down my heat. So I turned it down just a little bit. This is why it's important to just kind of watch. I do always use this sheet on here. This is my Teflon sheet. And there you go. So take it off. Iron it again. I always double iron just to make sure my iron-on is on there securely. There. That came off nicely. So you can see here how it was a little hot. So, just fix the design. I pulled it off just a little bit. Oh no. So now you can see the mistakes I made. So don't make my mistakes. So it looks like for a yoga strap, you do want to turn down the heat just a little bit. Just iron it a second time. Just going to do not as much. And there it is. So we have our yoga strap, which is on there, and the 2 crosses with her name. So now, if you have other questions or concerns, let me know. Thanks for crafting with me in the middle of the night. Stress crafting with me. Okay, thank God. Thanks for watching. Bye.